RC, or the Budgetary Amendments Review Subcommittee, added 50 million confidential funds purportedly for NBI's national security missions. And RA 10867 mandates NBI modernization but requires accountability. It is notable that COA has flagged underutilization of DOJ's ICT budgets. First question is, with the 50 million in new confidential funds, what performance metrics will DOJ use? Will you allow COA to conduct post-operation audits up to where confidentiality allows, or while keeping sources protected so that confidentiality does not mean lack of accountability?
Especially our National Prosecution Service and our National Bureau of Investigation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much to our honorable party list representative, Sergio Dagook, my fellow Mindanaonon. Here is the list of payment. And we made sure that yours in Surigao, Caraga, Ameco, 966,000 fully paid. Caraga, Ciarelco, Sorseco 1, Sorseco 2, a total of 20,000, 98,000 paid already. Everything is paid as far as DOJ is concerned. Thank you. Congratulations to Secretary Remulla.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, next to interpolate the sponsor, I move to recognize Representative Paolo Henry M. Marcoleta of the party list Sagip.
The Honorable Marcoleta is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished sponsor, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
First, I'd like to ask about NBI's confidential funds. BARC, or the Budgetary Amendments Review Subcommittee, added 50 million confidential funds purportedly for NBI's national security missions. And RA 10867 mandates NBI modernization but requires accountability. It is notable that COA has flagged underutilization of DOJ's ICT budgets. First question is, with the 50 million in new confidential funds, what performance metrics will DOJ use? Will you allow COA to conduct post-operation audits up to where confidentiality allows, or while keeping sources protected so that confidentiality does not mean lack of accountability? And second question is, given NBI's history of leaving ICT modernization funds unobligated, what safeguards are now in place to ensure that the 2026 confidential and capital funds are actually deployed on time?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We assure the honorable gentleman that the DOJ and the NBI will always comply 100% with all the COA rules. In fact, we have a COA circular number 2015-01, and this circular is fully complied by the Department of Justice and the NBI. As to the 50 million, we assure you that this will follow all the rules of COA on confidential funds.
Thank you very much, distinguished sponsor. We now move to Witness Protection Program. DOJ's Witness Protection Program is critical under RA 6981. Yet Congress often questions adequacy and fund utilization. Question is, how many witnesses and dependents are currently under protection, and what is the average cost per protected witness? With the 2026 allocation, how many new applicants can be admitted? And will DOJ commit to publishing a report linking WPP spending to convictions secured?
We have right now exactly 522 state witnesses. Under the Witness Protection Program of the Department of Justice, we spend around 350,000 per witness per month.
And for 2026, ilan po ang balak nating i-accommodate na witnesses? Mr. Sponsor.
Well, right now, we have to be able to know who will be the applicants. We cannot, at this time, be able to see and to give you definitive numbers on how will be accepted for 2025. But certainly, the DOJ we are very much willing to be able to consider and give a report to the Honorable Paolo Marcoleta on those who will be admitted in the program.
Opo, and I heard from the news that our esteemed secretary has already admitted Mr. Hernandez, Engineer Alcantara, and a few more whistleblowers to the Witness Protection Program, including the couple, Vizcayas.
Mr. Speaker, there's a distinction between a state witness accepted to the witness protection program and a protected witness. Mr. Alcantara, Mr. Hernandez are protected witness. They are not yet inside or accepted to the witness protection program of the Department of Justice. They are protected because we want also to preserve and save lives so that they will be, if they will be accepted, they will be very much alive to testify.
Thank you for the clarification, distinguished sponsor. Now we move to trafficking and online sexual abuse or exploitation of children. The Bar C infused fresh funds to the amount of 49.9 million for Interagency Council Against Trafficking Task Forces, 42.5 million for National Coordination Center Against Online Sexual Abuse or Exploitation of Children and Child Sexual Abuse or Exploitation Materials to strengthen field operations and national coordination. RA 10364 or the expanded Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2012 and RA 11930 or the Anti-Online Sexual Abuse or Exploitation of Children and Anti-Child Sexual Abuse or Exploitation Materials require DOJ to lead interagency coordination and deliver victim-centered measures. Given the Bar C restored 42.5 million for the DOJ's National Coordination Center on OSAEC and CSAEM, how will the DOJ ensure that there's no duplication with DICT cybercrime units or DSWD's victim care? Can you outline a single child victim pathway from rescue to rehabilitation that these funds will concretely support?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Bar C has approved and the Committee on Appropriations has already approved for the IACAT, Interagency Against Trafficking, is 49 million. We have also added 42 million for the NCC Online Sexual Abuse Task Force. There is always coordination because they are all members. The ICT is a member, all the agencies are members of this coordinating council. And so therefore, before the coordinating council will be able to decide on what actions to do, it is already based on consensus of all the agencies in that coordinating council. So it is assured that they will be coordinating with the agencies in these particular councils.
What is DOJ's plan to cut the average lead time for a complaint or trip to actual rescue and filing of charges? Will this new budget shorten the time frame significantly?
Mr. Speaker, I ask for a 1-minute recess.
Session suspended.
I move for resumption, Mr. Speaker. I have already answered.
Session is resumed.
Mr. Speaker, we are now victim-centered. We make sure, the DOJ makes sure, that first, the victims are properly, being coordinated with. and then the officials, the law enforcement. And then we are making sure that because there is a very good coordination and the special attention to victims, then they are going to shorten the time for filing. But then if it is filed, we make sure that there is that certainty of conviction because they have been able to have good coordination with the victims and the witnesses.
Thank you for that answer, distinguished sponsor. On jail crowding and humane custody, Barsi added 450 million for Bucor facilities, and congestion stands at around 244%, violating RA 10575's humane custody mandate. How many actual prison beds will the 450 million yield? What is the target occupancy ratio reduction in the top 3 most congested facilities by end of 2026? And can you commit to specific reductions in congestion ratios by the end of 2026?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have here now where the 450 million additional BARC and Committee on Appropriations budget that were included in the DOJ budget. 102 million will go to the construction of the PDL's dormitory at Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm, Occidental, Mindoro. Then we go now to 120 million to design and build a road system that will be able to go to our new medium and minimum security camp at Leyte Regional Prison. The other third component, Mr. Speaker, is 180 million for the construction of a Type B dormitory at San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm in Zamboanga, Hermosa City. Then we have the last one, 48 million, construction of fully furnished 2 units Type C, dormitory for female persons deprived of liberty at CIW, Mindanao, Davao Prison and Penal Farm. In other words, the 450 will now allow our Bucor to be able to solve the congestion especially in the National Bilibid Prison. Because right now, the congestion rate of the new Bilibid prison that we have is, congestion rate is 242% congestion. And then in others, CIW for women in Mandaluyong, 131% congestion. And then we have also the other penal farm. But when we construct these 4 areas of our prison and then we therefore decongest the new Bilibid prison and bring them to a better habitat, Iwahig, for example, San Ramon. So in other words, they will be there and they will be living in a situation where it upholds human dignity of prisoners. So that is the breakdown, Your Honor.
Thank you for that response. Bucor has been faulted by COA for delayed projects without penalties imposed. Will DOJ strictly enforce procurement law by applying liquidated damages against contractors who miss deadlines? May I know, Majority Leader, how much time am I?
Please stop the clock if it is my turn. We should give the clock. Yeah, it's close, it's stopped already. We should give more time to Congressman Paolo. And so therefore, definitely, as our head of Bucor says, we are going to make sure that this will follow the procurement law and make it fast because they themselves has the problem with the new Bilibid prison. The intention of our Bureau of Correction is to really bring to the different penal colonies all so that we can decongest the new Bilibid prison. There is a commitment that we will follow and fast track this procurement and the construction.
Thank you, distinguished sponsor. Now on the PAO budget, PAO got the largest DOJ budget increase in fiscal year 2026 with more than 1.04 billion pesos, but average caseload per lawyer remains high. So PAO's budget rose by over 1 billion pesos. How many lawyers will be hired? And what reduction in caseload per lawyer and court postponements can Congress expect in 2026? Will you align this with RA 9406 or the Act Reorganizing and Strengthening the Public Attorney's Office mandate to provide effective assistance to indigents?
1 minute suspension, please, Mr. Speaker.
Session suspended.
Thank you. Can we resume, Mr. Speaker?
Session resumed.
The records of the Public Attorney's Office is that in 2024, total number of clients assisted, Your Honor, is 15,089,235 persons, clients. In the first semester of 2025, we already have 9,050,520 clients. The number of cases handled, these are the persons, the first one, the millions are the persons handled. Now we go to the cases handled. 2024, last year, 847,317 cases. First semester of 2025 is 687,492. Therefore, the average number of clients assisted by each lawyer in 2024, and you will be shocked with these figures, each PAO lawyer has assisted for 2024 5,631 clients. And for this first semester, each lawyer is assisting a total of 3,376. And the total in case of cases handled, we have an average number of cases handled by each lawyer of 317 cases for each lawyer. Almost one a day. 365 days is already 317. And then each lawyer is handling right now, in 2025, 249 cases. And yet, Your Honor, and yet, our lawyers and complement of the PAO, we only have lawyers 2,681, support personnel of 1,034, total of 3,715. That is why, nationwide, that is why they need more budget to hire more lawyers to be able to assist our indigent clients.
Okay, this is still a PAO related. PAO and OSAC case backlogs. VARC restored 11.4 million for OSAC DOJ Action Center and expanded training from 158 million to 815 million. DOJ's prosecution service continues to face dismissal rates and backlogs. RA 9999 mandates wider access to free legal aid. How will the OSAC increment translate into faster complaint handling? Can DOJ commit to publishing quarterly turnaround times and resolution rates for complaints lodged?
The DOJ promises to be able to publish what is required by our distinguished member of Congress.
Okay, my last question. With the training budget ballooning fivefold, what specific competencies like digital forensics, chain of custody, victim-sensitive interviewing will be taught, and how will you measure their effect on conviction rates and reduced case dismissals? How will you measure post-training impacts such as conviction rates, better evidence handling, or reduced case dismissals?
Mr. Speaker, 1 minute recess, please.
Session suspended.